feel that breeze blowing, see clouds rolling around the bend. And I ain't seen the sunshine since Mike's gone live again. But I know storms are coming, drunk donkey told me so. But that cone keeps moving down the San Antonio. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always watch Mike's weather page and you'll know when to run. But I hung around with Irma, Lord, I almost died. When I see that cone moving, I hang my head and cry.
Any drunk donkey can show a European model. Okay?
Hi, what's up, everybody? Good morning. We're getting our Hurricane Central ready. Turn on the light. Oh, look at that. I'm bright. And here we go. Comments are still not scrolling on my Android. What's up with that? All right, so here's Louie taking a nap on me. We're going to say good morning with Louie as he snores here. Come here, buddy. There we go. I can see some comments now. Cool. So what's up, morning, Bluffton, Gail, what's cooking? Mary Beth, oh, you're welcome. I love doing it. Hey, what's up, Jacob? We got some floating ducks up there, yeah. We have ducks from Florida all the way across the Gulf Coast coming. Florida's going to get drenched the next 2 days, I'm afraid. So you might need an ark. What else is cooking? What's up there, Jennifer? Yep, all the cone heads in the world. This is hurricane season. All right, Louie, about time to say goodbye. What's up, David Jenner? Hey, brother, neighbor. So there you go. Cool. All right, hope everybody's doing great. Got a few people in here checking out the tropics. Luckily, we're not looking at any big changes overnight. We're watching Cristobal here. This is on weathernerds.org here. We got great satellite imagery here. We still got a little spinach down here happening, but it's doing exactly what the models predicted. The big question now is, when will it turn and exit the Yucatan? Every new update, it's a little bit farther south, which is good news because it's weakening a little bit at a time. A little bit. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Yeah, I got a little sappy last night. I had to delete it, actually, because I don't know. But, yeah, thank you, man. Everybody knows what we're talking about. Rain and buckets. Yeah. Puppies. Denise, yeah, the Keys, I'm telling you, I don't know. The next 2 days for sure. Saturday, there could be a little window of opportunity where we could have a break. But I'll show you everything. We got a lot to show. There's a lot of scenarios brewing here as far as who gets what. That's for sure. So let me click one more thing here, and then we'll get rolling on all the models and maps and look at last night's stuff. And one more thing I need to pull up. Say, some of my comments are coming up now. Finally. On the one thing. Hey, Teresa, this is all stuff ahead of the storm. Upper level disturbance bringing in all the action. Let's see. I was going to pull up an ABC picture here. I don't know. We'll just pull this one up here. So, I don't know why. I just grabbed the picture. But hey, we start every show thanking our Facebook Live sponsor, ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. So, big thanks to them here, located in Florida, 120 plus stores. And looks like you're going to be needing it if you live in Florida because it's raining here and it's not going to stop raining for a few days. So, go out and run and get your ABC Fine Wine and Spirits and Netflix binge as we got rains rolling in, right? So, what's up, Stephanie? Oh man, Joe, I know. We actually got lucky and found a breeder that was a lot cheaper. And of course, Don, if you're in here, I got my cup today. Look at Or Mike's weather page duck. All right, so let's talk about the weather real quick. So what we got cooking? Let's talk about. Okay, so there's that. That's Cristobal, and there's Mexican radar here, which I have linked off of Casper and Kay's site. So very broad rotation happening. Center somewhere down this neck of the woods. Still sloppy mess for those folks down there. You can really see the spin very well when you get closer on satellite. So still technically got spinach. Still considered tropical storm. It's still 40 mile an hour. Pressure is still below 1,000 millibars. The official NHC track here, not changed much. Expect it to start turning and slowly strengthen as it gets close to landfall late Sunday. No big changes on track. Louisiana still in the mix. Sunday still in the mix. Late Saturday effects still in the mix. High-end tropical storm still in the mix. Still a few outliers showing a little stronger, maybe Cat 1, but that's about it. Good news. We got shear rolling in over the weekend, and we have some dry air located to the west. I was going to zoom in a little better shot here. So we have a little bit of dry air that could make its way into the circulation, and we have there's a dry air. It's that upper level high pressure system that's got some dry air. Dry air is the enemy of a system, and that's what's also pushing this upper level disturbance, tropical juice into Florida. So again, it's supposed to strengthen a little bit once it pops out back over water. There is this outside chance, however, that we could see the center completely disrupted, but it's still showing up well on satellite. Yucatan is fairly flat in this part of the country. The farther this thing drifts down south, though, it's getting a little more disrupted, but it's not expected to lose tropical characteristics. If for some reason it lost all circulation, and it dissipated, it could technically come back as a low pressure system and become Dolly. So, outside chance. All right, we're going to talk about storm surge. We got, hey, Florin, no, I never backed off. I still think we have a chance for 980 millibar. I know you're one of the haters out there. Maybe. So, technically we could have Cat 1 hurricane with 980 to 994 millibar. So the effects are, the effects are almost exactly the same on a high-end tropical storm or low-end Cat 1, except for it just sounds cooler to be hurricane. What's up, Dale? Everywhere but Gainesville, Middle Beach. You got it right. So let's show you the individual models from last night. And then we'll look at some ensembles, and we'll look at the UK model. UK is showing our high pressure slowing our system down. There is this outside possibility that our system could slow down just a little bit. Still looking at Louisiana. So we'll go to Tropical Tidbits. Take a look. These are the latest overnight. We actually got a new 6K. Let's go over here because we might have the 6Z Euro coming out. See if it come out yet. The latest and greatest here. The freshest run. Let's see if it's going out far enough yet. It stops right there. So the 6Z 18Z Euro only goes out to 90 hours. So it hasn't changed much into thinking. The latest Euro shows our system way down here in the middle Mexico, 1,000 millibar. This is overnight tonight, so it's not expected to do much turning throughout the day. Still on track. Euro has a weakening to 1,001, and then it starts to pull it back up tomorrow. Here's Saturday, 996, and it rolls northward. 990 is the last run here at, this is Sunday evening. So the Euro's slowing down a tick. All this is going to do is A, allow possibly a little more strengthening, and B, keep that northwest jog at the end of the run. So here's your high pressure to the north. This is exactly the same pattern we've been watching. And high pressure builds here on the east side of Florida, preventing any sort of eastward jog. And you can start to see the turn here. It stops at 90 hours. I don't think it goes past 90 hours. And then there you go. So there's that one. Still on pace. And then let's see. Let's look at your latest GFS. Latest GFS, sloppy mess today. So it's not supposed to be anything today. All the models still showing weak system. Then it starts to ramp up a little bit back to tropical storm status. And there's your latest GFS. A little quicker Sunday morning. Coming in lower Louisiana. Does that northeast turn or northwest turn. And it pulls on out of here. So again, we're not seeing a stalling on the coast, which is good news. That has not changed. A lot of folks worried about Harvey and Imelda, but all the models are showing this thing getting sucked up into our next approaching system here. So there's the latest GFS. Let's show you that. Let's show you the latest UK. UK used to be a pretty darn good model. It's been a little weird lately, but it's showing the same thing. Dissipation possible. And then it brings it back. This is Saturday morning, afternoon. And it deepens it down to 990 there, and then it slows it down. This has been its pattern. Hits that high pressure, stops it, and then it goes around the high pressure system back into New Orleans, 986. So there's that one. So UK showing that high pressure slowing her down, turning it back up towards Louisiana. The only difference with the UK, it's been the outlier as far as time goes, and it's shown more of a Tuesday almost landfall versus later Monday or later Sunday, like a lot of the other models. So there's the UK, same positioning, just slowing down a little bit here and then turning up around that high pressure system. So that's one interesting model. Let's look at the Access G, the Australian model. Same thinking, boom, boom. There's that turn right up to Louisiana, a little closer to the Texas state line this time on the Access. But you can see that bend later in the weekend. And then the Icon, German model, we can look at. Same setup. Right into lower Louisiana. And that would be landfall Monday morning. So the impact starts Saturday night, likely for most. Saturday could start seeing bands entering Florida Peninsula. Here's your CMC. Keeps it a big sloppy mess. Usually, CNC used to be the most aggressive model. So there you go. That makes sense, right? Julio, Navy model. Navy model is... You always got these crazy outliers, right? Navy model starting to show, well, it didn't change that much. It just has to hover around a little bit longer. So here's a Navy model, Saturday, big old wide sloppy system, deepens it down a little bit, 985, right over New Orleans. And now this would be Monday morning-ish, so they could be slowing down. We talked a lot about the trend of this thing slowing down a little bit. The longer it takes to escape out of the Yucatan, then the longer, obviously, the landfall for Saturday looking more and more less likely, more Sunday, Monday-ish. Here's Monday with the Navy model. So we'll look at the Hurricane Pacific HWRF, see what it shows, and it's showing. It's so hard to see land with the damn model. I have to look at. There we go. So there's 995. This is there's There's Lake Pontchartrain. So there's, there's one model, H Wharf. So, I mean, you can see the consistency. Very, 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 very consistent. And the H Mon, the Jamaican model, 1,000. All right, so let's go back to the Navy, and we're going to look at the rain now, because we're getting in that window. We can start seeing rain bands. Who gets what? We'll pull up some higher resolution rain stuff and talk about it. So let's go back to the GFS and show you the rain. All right, so this is Saturday morning, early hours, and let's see. Yep, coastal. Yeah, so we got coastal flood advisories. Exactly. I mean, we got a big low pressure system. It's going to be wide, so that means we're going to have a lot of water being pushed up. We have a full moon on Friday. So Saturday, Sunday, as this thing approaches, Saturday night, we'll start to see these rain surge events possibly coming. Now here's Saturday night. So let me rewind it again. This is the GFS. A little more sloppier system than the Euro, but so this is a big pocket of rain Saturday night ahead of the GFS. Remember, northeast side typically always gets the wettest side, but here's our system Saturday night. So we'll start to see the bigger impact Saturday night, and then Sunday. This is Sunday morning, early hours. Hit or miss on the Florida coast, but we're definitely going to have bands of rain rolling into the peninsula overnight Saturday into Sunday. And now here's that big blob of rain, northeast side. Remember, the west side of the system could almost be nothing. The effects will definitely linger to the west some, but there'll be a lot more drier pockets of rain to the west. We got dry air to the west side, which is going to get entrained down through the system. Give it that cinnamon bun look. So the west side, again, very little. That's going to be because of dry air and just the simple fact that most of the stuff gets pushed up on the north and the east side. So there's that. This is Sunday morning on the GFS, and it turns away. This is Monday, Tuesday. So it's still going to bring rain up through our Louisiana and Mississippi. This is Monday. Anyway, so that's one model. Let's look at the sloppy CMC. It's going to be a lot wider system. Here's Saturday morning time. Here you start to see pockets of possible rains hitting Florida. And as we get into the day, there's Saturday night. And this is Sunday afternoon. Yeah, a piece of it breaks off over Florida. CMC is definitely the weakest, but there you go. And it races on off on Tuesday. So sloppy GFS, the Navy NavGim is not really a good radar for resolution for rain, but shows you the eastern weighted system. And this is Saturday night, a little stronger, 982. But again, east side. So this is this is the areas that are definitely going to get the highest surge. Unfortunately, when you look at the flow here on the windy site, to give you an idea, this is the areas that will get obviously the most amount of surge as our system comes up. This is on the Euro prediction, but there you go. There's our eye. All this water pushing in to New Orleans area and Mississippi, Alabama, and northern panhandles. This is the area right here that we're going to get a constant flow of winds and rain and surge through Saturday night. So again, on the Euro, the wind, this Saturday night, 9 p.m., we'll start to really feel it. Here is Saturday on the Euro as far as rains go. We got some other sites, but you can see it on this site too. This is windy.com. All right, so here's Sunday noon. These are the heaviest thunderstorms. Saturday 8 p.m. So Saturday evening, we're going to start to see the biggest storms start to possibly impact the upper Gulf Coast. Now here's overnight, 5 a.m. It could get pretty rocking this Saturday night you know. So timing, you know, it's still a few hours either way. More than likely, it's going to slow down rather than speed up. And there's our big thunderstorm. So here's Sunday, 3 p.m. So Sunday's definitely a rough day. I've had a lot of people message in the past about this weekend beach plans. Sunday does not look like a good day in the Panhandle if you're up there vacationing. And here's Sunday, 6 p.m. So Sunday night we could get the rocking storms here in Florida. So if it does slow down, the only thing it's going to do different slow down is it's just going to delay all this inevitable. And if it does tighten up a little bit more, then Florida Panhandle's right on that edge of possibly not getting as much. But the longer it hangs out over Mexico, then the more of a chances of a sloppy system. So let me pull something up here real quick, and then we'll see what you guys are saying. And let me rewind here. Wow, I hate this free zoom thing. It doesn't always work the best. Yes, we'll have wind, Tamron, in Florida. It won't be. It'll be more squalls because of our. Come on. How did I get to Europe? I just took a trip to Europe. I wasn't even trying. There we go. I guess this one will be all right. We'll look at this one. All right, so we're going to go to. Let's see. I'll do significant weather, and we'll just put it in motion here. All right, so this is Thursday, 2 p.m. All this instability here ahead of our Cristobal. And as you go, I don't know if I can just hit play on this thing. Not really. I got to go click, click, click. So we'll click, click, click. That's it, Todd. Yep, the official forecast is a high-end tropical storm. I'm still thinking we could get low-end hurricane just by the fact that the Gulf has been fueling and tricking our models this year. So we'll see if that trend continues, right? So yeah, sandbags. All right, so we're letting this thing. This is 7 a.m. Saturday. There's our core. I was trying to show you the bands as we get these loading. Let me just go to Sunday here. Sunday. Let's do Sunday. Sunday 7 a.m. All right, so here's what the Euro looks like Sunday 7 a.m. And these are the bands that could impact Florida Sunday night, and of course early Sunday hours, midnight hours, Saturday night is when we're going to start to see the storms impacting the upper Gulf Coast. So the timing on the Euro has been pretty consistent. You know, these squalls, cinnamon bun. Yeah, we can do cinnamon buns. These squalls, obviously, you know, we get water spouts on these squalls. You get normal tropical instability. So definitely, you know, the stuff you normally get with tropical systems, we'll be watching. It's going to be a wide-reaching system, and we're going to see this type of weather impacting all the way into the Florida Keys. In fact, let's look at the latest NHC discussion. They talk about this. The wind field's going to expand. That's because it's going to be a sloppier, wider system. The overall wind radius is going to be increased because of this bigger, wider system. And the worst conditions could occur a large distance from center. And that would be to the east of center, not west of the center. So that's good forecasting there. Let's see what else we could look at before I see what you guys are saying. Oh yeah, let's look at the cinnamon bun model. Cinnamon bun. Full moon Mary, yes. This chat's way lower than my other chat. This is crazy. I gotta zoom up. Somebody asked about, but yeah, we got a full strawberry moon Friday. Let's look at the surge map yet. See if they really updated it yet. Hopefully, I think zoomed a little bit closer to. There we go. Let's see if our storm mat. It's starting to get a little more color. So this is a good map. I'm going to link it. I don't think we have any surge maps yet from the Hurricane Center yet. No, they'll have surge maps too. Here's the earliest reasonable time for tropical storm force winds: Saturday, 8 p.m. Lower Louisiana. But here is a great site. This one shows you potential surges based on the current National Hurricane Center's predictions. So there is obviously the east side of the storm is the ones getting the surge. So this map updates the closer our system gets. This is obviously the Mississippi. And Morgan City here. So, you know, this is the heart of the current track. Now, if the track shifts a little bit, this shifts with it. So this site predicts surge based on the current NHC track. If the track moves more to the east, then obviously all this surge will change to very little, and it'll be shifted more towards New Orleans. If the track shifts obviously west, the surge will more include areas to the east. So, but currently you can click on this map, hit a button, and you'll get a updated, estimated. Here's 7 foot, basically above normal water height. So Morgan City, I'm not sure. We have anybody from Morgan City? Texas, Rusty, you're on the outside edge of the cone. I do not think it'll curve into Florida, Cindy, if I had to say yes or no. Texas is still in the cone, so you can't ever argue against the National Hurricane Center. Never said what, it's still right on that edge. We could be looking more at western Louisiana, Texas state line landfall. But right now the official track is smack dab down the middle of Louisiana. Most of the ensembles are showing that too. So, hey John, what's up? James, what's it gonna do? I don't know. Did I say doo doo? God darn it! Now I got sidetracked. What was I showing? Here's a cool image, by the way. This is updated track positions, and it's still dipping south. Latest 8 a.m. advisory. So the longer the center goes down, it's going to have a harder road ahead of it to redevelop. Even though all the models are showing it redeveloping, these are things we got to watch in real time. If it hangs out and gets a little drunk down here in Mexico, drinking a little tequila, maybe it's going to find its way to Cancun. Never know. That's not the official track, though. Oh, we're going to look at the ensembles real quick. Hurricane hunters, by the way, don't fly out there when it's over land. So that's why we haven't had any hurricane hunters. They only go over the storms when it's over water. This current wind site's a great site because you can get a good idea on satellite where our center is on lower level, and you can see it right here. That's the best guess on the official NHC map where the center is. Spinning away. 500 millibar, still got a really good mid-level circulation. Starting to get a little bit wider, but good vorticity. That's currently over Mexico, and you can see it right here. That's where he is, and there's our upper level winds pushing it, keeping that mid-level circulation from moving north. We have a little bit of high pressure to the east right now, and it's the high pressure to the west with the winds blowing down are pushing Cristobal farther south. The high pressure to the east is not strong enough to push Cristobal to the north as of now. Steering currents are currently weak. Boom, look at that. Extremely weak currents right now. But eventually this is supposed to pull out, open up the door, and push. Hey, John, Merida, Mexico. Where the heck is that at? Let me Google it. What's up? We got somebody from Mexico. Are you close? Hey, you're right in the heart of it. Oh, nope. Yeah, you are. Look at that. Hey, you're gonna get a visit, John, from look at that. So we have a fan right here. He'll give us real-time updates. Southeast Texas. Well, you're on the border, Sean. Listen, once we get it, hey, cool, Larry. Larry, that's funny. You're in the cone. Hey, listen, anytime you're in the cone, you gotta pay attention. Okay. I predict long range stuff, but east side of the cone, they get the most upset because they'll get amped up for these systems, and if it passes 30, 40 miles to your east, you might get nothing. So, you got to sit on the edge of your seat, and if this thing, stays just to the east, you might get almost nothing. And that's the reality on that one. So, all right, so we're going to look at the ensembles real quick. Here's a cool map. I added again the National Weather Service wind waves and gust map. It's a live map you can have some fun with on what if scenarios. So we'll go to Saturday night, 8 p.m. Here are your current wind speed predictions. Somebody was asking about Florida. So we'll just have steady winds across the state, all across, as the winds come in. It's a big, wide system. Look at this. I mean, these are your overall winds, 10, 15 miles an hour around the core here. But everything's blowing in just as expected. And then we go to Sunday morning. Here's 8 a.m. This is an official National Weather Service prediction site. So there's 8 a.m. as it loads right off the coast of Louisiana. Let's go ahead and load 2 p.m. There's 2 p.m. There's a little eye feature. I see you. Oh, Claude, I don't know, man. Galveston? Well, yeah, you're farther south down here. It's going to be windy. But that's your call, man. So here's just to the west of New Orleans. This would be Sunday, 8 p.m. officially. And then Monday, 2 a.m., it's already made landfall. There you go. So somebody said they're going fishing out of Galveston. Let's look. So 16 mile an hour winds. That's not gust. So I don't know, man. I don't know. That's Saturday 1 a.m. They start creeping in. There's 1 p.m. Yeah, wow. That's your call, man. You want to go bumpy? Let's see if we can do some waves. How do I get this thing out here? List. What the heck? Oh, I gotta hit X. Here's waves. So let's see. Here's your waves. 1 p.m. 5 foot seas. I don't know. Your call on that one. Hey, New Orleans. Listen. Winds right now. They're talking 60 mile an hour at landfall. Well, it's tricky because the 1 a.m. forecast shows it. We'll see what 1 a.m. Sunday is. So 1 a.m. Sunday, 60 mile an hour before landfall. So it could be, like I said, they're still predicting high-end tropical storm. Some of the winds could definitely be wider than the center, stretching into the panhandle for sure. Our squalls, we haven't had any storm prediction center yet. Normal, light green stuff, but just we know in the tropics that anytime you get squalls with these things, we can get spin ups. Here's the current radar in Florida. Big old wet mess. Key West is fixing to get one. Everything today is flowing from the southwest, northeast. In fact, let's look at some high resolution radar for the day. We should get the 12Z out. And then we got 12Z models we can look at too. So let's look at the, we'll look at the flow today in the rains. Mostly concentrated in Florida. Spotty stuff on the upper Gulf Coast today. But let's zoom in a little closer now to Florida for the next 36 hours. So this is throughout the day today. Here's noontime. Look at that. You know, again, the rains can happen anytime, any place. Lots of moisture in the air. You look at a precipitable water map here on Bay News 9. Way down yonder. Here's the amount of moisture in the air, and that's just an indicator that it's very juicy. What's going on, Whitney? It's coming right for you, buddy. I haven't really looked. Yep, Miami's got a nasty blob right now. So let's go back to the model. So here's this is noontime today. This is later afternoon today. This is 5 o'clock today. Here's another blob developing overnight hours. This is going into Friday morning. So things get a little lighter tomorrow for maybe the morning hours, but then we get a little more daytime heating. You know, here's 8 a.m. tomorrow. We could have popcorn storms developing on the East Coast down in the Keys. And then we have another repeat pattern through tomorrow, you know. But the difference now tomorrow is there's our Cristobal starting to inch in. So just the next couple of days, there's a lot of rains in Florida. It's just impossible to predict things where we're going with this. So yeah, you need a boat, Sammy. I'm sure we're gonna get some floods. We got to worry about this rain. Let's look at some rain. Let's look at some current rain maps. So here's the latest 5-day QPF forecast, and it has reduced some on the Florida Peninsula. Talked a lot about that. That happens a lot, Claudia. It's funny. My phone chat is way behind than the live chat. So I have a Back to the Future phone chat I can read. Yeah, a lot of rain for southern Mississippi, Lauren. I don't know when you wrote that. But again, we keep talking about this. A tighter. If this system remains tight, Saturday could be a little less rain for Florida. Could be. Let's look at the latest NAM, 90 hours. I don't know if we go out far enough yet that we can really see that yet. In fact, it's running now 12Z. We go 6Z. So it stops. Yeah. So here's Saturday, so the NAM, high resolution radar, this is the last frame. This is Saturday morning. There is an outside chance, Florida Peninsula won't get maybe rains as much as this thing starts to tighten up to the southwest of you. I've been talking a lot about that. So there is hope Saturday, at least for the peninsula, might have less chance of rain. Sunday, unfortunately, these rain bands are definitely going to make their way in. This is Tropical Tidbits, by the way, with our buddy Levi's site. And this is Sunday. So there's that. So the name. All right. So the path, the current track is off a little bit. It's dipped a little farther south than expected. Just like we saw it go a little farther east than expected. Here's the latest track estimate. It's supposed to be at 2 o'clock today. It's supposed to be here. So it's supposed to start making that pull to the north today. But as it keeps moving a little farther south, that's going to put it over a little more land through the Yucatan and potentially delay the strengthening, but also make it even a wider system, like subtropical. So anyway, here's your official cone, by the way. So still in play. The we could still have it go. We could, this is the truth. We could have this thing come out farther to the east. We could have it come out far to the east, slower than expected, but in reality, the end result could almost be the same, because the slower that it exits, the more it runs into our high pressure system, and the more it turns more to the northwest and still goes to the same spot. So it could be a wider cone here, but then still do that. The chances for turning into Florida are slim to none at this point. Unless, I guess, it came all the way out here, but that ain't in the forecast. No models showing that at all. So let's look at the ensembles real quick. I haven't looked at these yet. And we'll see some other things. All right, so here is the latest 6Z ensembles. Are these 6Z? Yep. These are latest European 6Z. And they're tightly clustered. Pretty much everyone's predicting under 1,000 millibar. A few red ones, but there's your general track. Hasn't changed. A little more turn there with that northwest turn. You can see it. We can see it real well on Weather Nerd's site. If you want to look at each member and how it plays out, we can zoom in here a little tighter. This is weathernerds.org. Great site. We can loop it. We can turn tracks on. We can loop it. We can watch the European's brain in action in real time. Right now it's sleeping. Here, Richard. Yeah, we'll show the intensity models. Julio. Yep. UK shows that northeast trend because it's a little slower, but then it also has it stop and turn back northwest. So the northwest turn is inevitable. Here's all the latest European ensembles. I want this slower. I want this slower. So let's, okay, that's slow. So let's go back. Well, it's going to reset itself, I think. Let's slow it down a little bit. So these are always cool. This is just the European model. But it's all the little brains here, the European model. And, we can see right here, it starts to turn. So very few outliers with the European thinking. Some go, eastern Texas. Some sticking around Mississippi, even Alabama. But the majority of them, Louisiana. And a big cluster right here. So we can zoom in even more. Let's see. Well, I'll tell you what, another site. Let's go back to my site here. Well, not my site, a paid site. And let's see. What's on this one? Nah, it hasn't even run yet. Darn it. Let's try this one. Where is it? Where did you go? Hang on. Probability. Let's see. Global cycle 6Z. Yeah, I wonder why it's not loading. Darn it. All right, so we can go back to the main operation. All right, so here's another one we can look at. And there's that turn. So these are all the ensembles. You can see it turn. Boom. And we can zoom in on this little guy. Let's take a look at it real quick. See what we got here. And just show you kind of what the Euro's thinking as far as intensities go. So pretty much all of them middle 980, 99. So again, the effects are the same regardless. But that's a great image of where it could be going. Nana, that's the $1 million question. Officially, no. NHC is keeping it strong tropical storm. Omaha, AJ, I don't know, buddy. Omaha, isn't that where Convoy was? Rubber duck. Rainfall, Doug? Well, let's look at some individual rainfall totals. Good point. Let's look at that. Let's zoom in on some rainfall estimates. We'll start out with the Euro. We'll go southeast. Texas, this barely shows you guys and gals, but in reality, you're right on that edge where you might see Zippo as far as heavy rains go. So here's the rain totals through Tuesday morning. And look, you can see it curve up through Louisiana and Arkansas here toward the end. But basically, we can stop it here. This is through Tuesday, but there's your pockets of rain. And you can see the spiral in effect. We could get some rain training. If this thing does make landfall middle Louisiana, unfortunately, we'll see rain training come into northern Gulf here. And, anything white, 6, 7, 8 inches of rain. So if you see anything white here, that's more than 5 inches. We can zoom in on Louisiana a little better. And there's some higher resolution rain totals. This is the Euro. So, 7 inches, maybe 8, nothing, hopefully nothing too bad. 4 inches though, New Orleans. Not really sure with that situation, if that's bad or good, depending on Bluetooth me. Aaron, it's raining that hard, huh? Yeah, I'll try to read some more comments now that I've went through reading now. But here, all right. So here's your higher resolution Louisiana map, and ironically, Florida, so far away from the storm, has got some pretty big predictions also. So let's take a look at those, and then we'll show you some other maps on the rain. And I'm selfishly, like everybody else, I'm worried about the rain for my own personal reasons. We have plans this weekend, and look at, Saturday rains, even on Saturday, they're showing 2 inches up until Saturday. And then we get into Sunday, and then here's the main, 4 inches total through Monday morning. These are combined totals, by the way. This is through next Tuesday morning. But, we could have some rain training happening here across the bay. 5, 6, 7 inches. 6 inches in Gainesville, just for you, Dale. All right, so let's go to some other maps. Euro, what the heck is that? Euro is usually a little more aggressive, but it was correct. It's correct more than it's wrong. Let's look at some official rain totals from some other sources. So let's just do southeast, get a general idea. If it's showing the same thing. All right, so this is through early week. All right, so, again, pockets of rain. It makes sense. Landfall middle Louisiana, just to the east, is going to get the big stuff. 5, 6 inches here. We got 4, 5 through Florida, So a little less than the Euro as far as Florida goes, but still we got that big pocket. So, people asking about Louisiana, I mean, we're talking, normal tropical rains, but wherever this thing decides to set up, we could be looking at 6, 7, 8 inches plus in spots as we get rain training. Let's see. We can look at National Weather Service, see what they show, and they don't go out that far yet. So, right, Sarah? All right, what else we got? Andrew, I don't know about that. Oh, landslide. Holy cow. Look at that. I saved that. Where the heck is it? I thought I had it up. I was going to show that, by the way, on Twitter. Let me see. There was an amazing landslide video. I guess I didn't save it. I forget who shared it. Let me go to Twitter. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Man, that whole house. Oh, Levi just posted. Yep. Weakening. All right. So weakening inland. Spend 2 days. It could spend up to 2 days over land. So that's a big one. That would increase the chances for a big, wider, wetter, sloppier system into Florida. But the Euro's not buying it. Hey, there's Bobby. What's up? All right. So I'm trying to find Did I tweet it? I can't even remember how do I get to Twitter here. I don't even see profile tweets. Did I retweet it? Damn it, I didn't retweet it. Who the heck shared it? Here, all I'm gonna do is hit Norway. I bet you it'll pop up. There it is right here. So look at this. This was shared on Twitter. Look at that. That's a mudslide. Jan Backleby on Twitter. Look at that. The whole island is going into the sea. All these houses. Look at that. Huge houses floating. Floating. Look at that. House. It's a mudslide. Just like that. Everything's gone. Craziest thing I've ever seen. Earth decided to just move. So I don't even know what the phenomenon that happened up that way. I have to look at the weather. Obviously it was rain. But watch these houses just crumble. And they just swallow. They just swallow in these houses. Look at that poor house. Just like toys. They remind me of those little Monopoly houses, you know. Remember the Monopoly houses? Like you're playing with them in the bathtub. And they just float around. Whole houses gone. Craziest thing ever. Yeah, I never even watched the whole thing in full time. This is up in Norway. So anyway, I'll share it. That was in Alta, Norway. Crazy. All right, so I saw somebody talk about that. Okay, let's go back to the site. Let's see. So, again, here's your 12Z models. They just came out on Levi's site, 12Z. Track's still the same. There's the crazy UK. Slowing down, turning northwest. Then it eventually goes back north. 72 hours. All the models are showing 72 hours. So, you know, it's slowing down a tick. 48 hours. What day is today? Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So Saturday... So Sunday, you know, again, it's slowing down a little bit. It's just the wind, the rain is going to impact. The rain doesn't care. The rain is out there, and you can see it. This is current satellite of what's happening here in the Gulf. A lot of energy out there, pushing all this stuff out towards Florida. All right, so there you go. There's a YouTube link. Thank you, Rachel. What else? Rain and Destin. Listen, you got lots of. I mean, we got trouble. I mean, Saturday could be okay for the Panhandle, maybe. The rains definitely start rolling in late Saturday, and Sunday looks really wet. So Panhandle, you know, you might get a little escape the next couple days. Then Saturday, our system's going to be rolling northward, and you got a little more chance for rain Saturday afternoon and night, but Sunday definitely looks wet. All right, what else we got? So yeah, Florida's been getting hammered down south. We had tornadoes now a couple times. Let's see if we had. I know one was confirmed. Somebody said we had one in Cape Coral yesterday. I never did follow up and look. So let's look back at history. And that was, let's see, third, there's a second. Oh, they didn't even show it. Well, there's a one. So there's our one tornado of the first day of hurricane season. One tornado in Sarasota, officially. The only tornado in the United States was in Naples, Venice area. But they didn't officially report the one in Cape Coral yet, so there's that. So yeah, long term. Hey, Oh, thanks there on the official source thingy. Thank you. So you know, seriously, long range. We're not seeing much still. Every day we look long range. Doesn't mean things won't pop up, but this looks like the only action for a little while, a couple weeks at least. And the steering currents, let's see if I can find some, I need to find a good, well, we can look at this one here. I got to find a better, I got to get, Bobby, I need that really good water vapor loop that you got, the black and white one. All right, so here's a look at it again. And, oh yeah, Sanford, yep, that was earlier. I didn't show that one. Hey, thank you, Christina. Appreciate that. So this wasn't setting up a few days ago. That's why, looking at shear forecasts is so hard. But we do have this high pressure spinning currently mid-level high pressure system, and you can see it really well here on the windy site on the mid levels. So here it is spinning, big old high pressure system, and that's bringing in dry air. And it's also kind of pushing down on our system. So that's helping keeping the steering currents weak right now. And it's a big old dry pocket. And that's going to be an influencer on Cristobal as it goes into the Gulf. So interesting. I mean, heck, there's an outside chance this thing dissipates, loses low level center, and either comes back as Dolly as a weak tropical system, or even nothing, because that's a lot of dry air right now. But that's not the official forecast. Official forecast is still higher end tropical storm heading up towards Louisiana at the end of the weekend. So we'll leave it at that there, and we'll see what they say at 11 o'clock. So there you go. There's the official forecast. It's supposed to be a depression through tomorrow. All right, Michael. Yep, you're right there. Get some wind, or you got some possible surge heading your way, and heavy rains, no doubt. Pensacola Beach. Hey, Glenda. Thanks for being a supporter. Beavis. Hey, you wouldn't be Mayor Beavis's relation, would you? Maybe. Hey, Katie, what's cooking? Hey, Nancy. Anything else here? I'll read what you guys are saying now. So let me finish off my coffee. I made some in a cup so I could have more without having to get up. A little tired today. I sat out with Rusty last night until 2 in the morning. The official forecast is still unofficial. Yep. I mean, heck, overall, this thing has not changed. Thank you, Bobby. Look at you. You awesome. I can't click it, though. I'm reading it on my... Richard calling it. Okay. See, now my Android is like hour behind. Monopoly Houses in the Tub. I think I did. I can't remember. I remember playing with them. The little hotel houses. I don't know. Maybe I did. I don't know. Flashbacks. That was just last week. Thanks, Monica. Let's see. Panama next week. Nope. This is going to be long gone. Normal weather setting up. Hey, Sherilyn. Right now, well, tides are going to be higher than normal. I'll link this site when I'm done, but there is one good site that shows current predictions for storm surge. And it'll be getting updated as we get closer to the system. But it's a great site. And as our system gets more within the 3-day window here, it'll become a little more updated. And you have to remember, a lot of this is based on the fact of our system having a tight center. If it becomes sloppy and wide, the intense winds at center won't be as much, so the surge won't be as much. But that's current, and I'll link it. I'll put it somewhere easy to get to. Oh, yeah. House, yep. Thank you guys, Martha. It's all good. And Hopefully got it out of my system. It was just ironic. I looked at my Facebook memories today, and I shared it, but I always like Facebook memories. Facebook memories are the best. But this was 6 years ago, and there's our boy Rusty. But look at him. Look what this is the old Rusty. I forgot. He used to run because he wasn't blind and he wasn't old. So, and what was funny, looking back at my Facebook memories, there was 4 different memories from today that had Rusty in it. So that was pretty cool. Allie, 80%. Well, let's look at some long range stuff. So, you know, I haven't been paying 100% attention to long range weather, because this is the time of year we kind of get focused on tropics. But there's our so here's the latest Euro. There's our system spinning up into Louisiana. Now, next Tuesday, here's our next approaching system that's going to pull it up. So our high pressure moves on out. Next system right behind it. This gets sucked up in it. Then there's a tail of the front. This would be midweek. So this is the front that ultimately takes away Cristobal. He'll end up way up here in the Great Lakes. Pretty good little system up that way, by the way. And I mean, maybe the front stalls out. So yeah, I mean, look at long range. There's a possibility we could just have nothing serious, just stalling out front. So that, you know, there is a possibility we could just have lingering rains through the week here across the south. So glad I looked at that, and we can see it probably here on the surface charts. There's next Thursday. So our front just kind of lays around the next few days. So there's a chance that we could have a wet few days. Here's the current. Let's take a look at the current satellite. See if we see anything down there cooking. Hey Richard, thank you, bud. Yeah, he man, that was a shocker too. Him getting blind. You know, his quality of life never. It amazed me that he could still run around that pool at night. Like even last night, we were out there and I fell asleep. To be honest. But he never falls in the pool. He has that sixth sense. He knows where it's at. Hey, thank you, Deb. It's cool. You know, I appreciate it. I think, you know, it's just like tipping your server. I mean, I'm a big tipper. I tip. I love a tip. I used to be a tight tipper when I was a kid, so I'm making up for it now because I was one of them kids that $20 was a lot of money, and I would tip light as a dumb kid. Like a lot of us probably were. Isn't it cool getting older? How much smarter you feel? I feel like I'm enjoying the 40s more because I've become much more common sense and you know, wisdom. Aaron, Facebook doesn't like me. Check your messenger, Mike. I will. Let's see what else is going on. Yep. Yeah, Michelle. No, I love it. I love helping that out. All right, let's do it. Let's digest everything. So, in a nutshell, here's what's cooking. So, this was always predicted. This dip into Mexico. Well, it's not technically Mexico. Yucatan. Yucatan is Central America. So the big question today is it's supposed to start turning northward, and if it doesn't, things change. And the biggest thing that's going to change is the likelihood of this becoming a tightly closed low pressure system pulling north. We've mentioned a lot about it becoming a possible subtropical system. So if it doesn't turn, then the CMC wins and the euro loses. Because the CMC is pretty much the only one right now predicting this to just become nothing more than a a sloppy low pressure system coming up to the Gulf. Again, the effects are going to almost be the same. The only effects that would be different would be less surge effects and less impacts on center. So the biggest surge impacts obviously would be closer to center. If we do get a wet, wider, sloppier system, then the surge would be a lower impact and more of a wider reaching rain system here. But it's still saying 998. So, it could still be tropical storm. But as far as the big rains, I mean, look at that. The CMC showing huge rains over Florida with a landfall in Louisiana. A tighter system would be less likelihood for rains in the peninsula from it. This is the icon. There's that turn. See the icon doing the same thing that the UK is doing. It goes up, 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 hits the eye pressure, goes northwest, then it goes up. So the UK, at one time it was one of the best. And it's always become now lately the outlier. But it's interesting because it's so different than, this is on Weather Nerds, but the ultimate end result's the same. It just hits the high pressure, then it goes this way. But, ironically, it's got some ensembles going into Tampa. But that's low percentage, right? Okay, what else is good? Hey, Roger. Are you calling me young man? Well, good to see you again, Roger Wayne. That's a good name, Roger Wayne. Sounds like John Wayne. So there's Bobby. Listen, by the way, if you love blobbing and stuff, Blob and Bobby. So here's the UK. You can't discount it. You just have to understand what the UK is thinking. The UK is thinking that this thing doesn't make that turn north. It hangs around a little more to the east. That's why a few of the models in the UK are saying it would miss the high. But that's, those are extreme outliers. And it wouldn't have a lot of time to get going. But they do show green, so, it could still be tropical storm. But that's an outlier. The main ensembles here from the Euro are obviously totally 100% opposite than the UK. So you got to be wondering, how could two models be so different? But they're like brains. Models are like brains. They're people. They have feelings. Here's the GFS ensembles, and there's that turn to the northwest. And you might hear Sarah singing in the background. See Poppy, Jacksonville, Monday. Could be still lingering rains from our disturbance, but it won't be. It's not going to be. They're not going to be ruining plans. That's for sure. We'll look for you since you asked. We'll zoom in super duper close on Monday and Tuesday. See what we got for that. So this one. So, Tuesday's nice. So yeah, there could be lingering rains Monday, but Tuesday's definitely nice. So lingering rains Monday, and they'd be more in the morning hours, maybe afternoon hours, afternoon showers, normal afternoon stuff. But Tuesday's definitely a better day. So a little bit Monday, Tuesday's better. You got Florida in you, Monica? I do too. I'm Florida Criger. Cheers, John. What's up, Sue? All right, good for you, C Poppy. 50 years old. Tuesday is your day. Look at that. Sunshine is ordered. Hey, Jennifer. Yeah, man, Harvey was rough, but I don't think this one's a lot to worry about. We're going to have flooding, but as far as seriousness goes, it's a tropical storm, officially, So that's good. can hang with that, right? It's like a big afternoon thunderstorm. Nothing to be too stressed out about. You know it's coming, right? Hey, thanks, Hillary. Is that good? Worry about it. April Vero rain totals. Yeah, let's look at 24-hour rain totals. We don't have to look at the overall rain totals. Let's look at well, we can look at Euro is definitely the best there. So we'll look at 24-hour rain totals so we don't get everything all mixed up with combining rain totals. So I like this map because it shows you 24-hour rainfall. So I don't know why it skipped out the first couple hours. That's not good. So anyway, all right, here's what to expect. This is through tomorrow morning. So through tomorrow morning, here's your heaviest rains predicted. And look at, yellow is 1 to 2 inches here. So anything yellow is technically 1 inch plus. Just put it that way. So 1 inch plus in the next 24 hours, potentially anywhere here. Then we go forward in time. Saturday, tomorrow's a little less. Today's a little more. Here's rainfall through Saturday morning. This is from Friday to Saturday. So little less tomorrow as far as coverage goes. But still, everybody gets a little something. And again, it's the peninsula. So your 24-hour rainfalls through tomorrow basically is this. This is expected rains throughout today into tomorrow morning. And then your rainfall expected from tomorrow morning to Saturday morning here. And then we start to get the edges of the big stuff. So interesting to note, I keep saying this, Saturday to Sunday could be dry. This is the Euro. If the storm does get a little stronger and gets tighter, Saturday is the better day of the weekend for Florida Peninsula, at least. This is your Saturday to Sunday rainfall totals. And then as we get into Sunday to Monday, there's our rain bands making their way in. So look at that. So we could have some pretty big pockets of rain here on Florida for Sunday. So Saturday is the better day of the two for sure. And South Florida pretty much escapes everything. So if you're down the Keys, so the Keys, the next couple, if you can withstand today and tomorrow down the Keys, you look like you have a nice weekend. The only place in Florida to escape is the places that got flooded about a week ago. So, and if you hear that weird noise in the background, that's Sarah singing. And I didn't read your comment there. Prediction, Pensacola Beach. Well, there you go. This is Sunday is the big day for the Panhandle. Yeah, Jacob. But man, things are so different with Michael. We got a lot of shear that is developed from that high pressure system. So that's a big killer of keeping this thing in check. And the dry air to the west. These are things we didn't see a couple days ago. They weren't really in the forecast. That's what I mean. The shear forecast change this early in the season. And the water is not extremely. It's hot enough to support a strong system, but and plus Michael was already big. Man, we were watching Michael. It was developing that low on the east side of the Yucatan, and it was different. This one is not going to have the same conditions. In fact, I wanted to look at the cinnamon roll loop showing you that dry air getting down into our system. So Levi talked about it last night. I mean, sometimes these systems can fight off dry air intrusion. It could. So that's a possibility. But if it's a weak system, it's going to have a hard time with all this dry air. So as we go out in time. All right, so here's our system starting to take shape. This is Saturday. Here's that dry air to the west. And you can see some of that dry air getting sucked up in the water vapor loop of in fact, let me see if I can get a little closer. I don't think we can. I don't think it'll let me do that image. We could do precipitable water real quick though. Here's a precipitable water map. It's always cool to see where the moisture is at. This is Sunday. So this is the precipitable water map, but you can see where the highest concentration of showers are going to be. And here's that dry air getting sucked in from the south side. And that's going to help keep our system disrupted, but also keep it wider. And this is why Sunday could be a stormy day. Florida, we could have some squalls coming in off of the Gulfs. Remember blobs and squalls? I haven't said it. So let's go back to the cinnamon model and see what I'm talking about. So there's that dry air intrusion. This is on Sunday night, so that could help weaken the system too. So that's why tropical storm, low end hurricane max is what we're looking at. And look at that, all that energy getting pushed over into Florida. So Sunday is not a good day, obviously, for the upper Gulf, but it's just got, I guess I'm harping on Florida a little bit because when you see the spaghetti models, you don't think Florida, but this is going to be a wide reaching system. And Sunday, look out. Sunday we could, fortunately, softball doesn't look good. Thanks, Jody. Storm surge up the Mississippi, Heather. Yep, they're already showing it. God, I wish I was more familiar with what it takes up there for severe weather, surge-wise goes. But it's already showing stuff. That this is only good for the locals that know what to expect as far as surge goes. But this map will be updated more. I don't know what that means. 13 foot. So it's not an official site for surge, but the I just did my Elmer Fudd. Yeah, Cindy, you're right. I just don't, when we were talking about Michael, we had model support showing, the look. And we had better conditions ahead of it. That was common sense stuff. And we had model support. And we had a lot of model support showing it. So, it wasn't that I predicted it. You just go off the fact of so much model support with favorable conditions ahead. It looked like it was going to explode, and it did, Same thing with Harvey. We had a lot of model support showing it stalling, and we saw the stall on models. So, I only report things that look possible with a lot of model support. And, with Florence, we showed Florence dipping, but we also talked a lot about Florence dying as it neared the coast. And one thing that the media did a lot was it was a big storyline because Florence was a Category 4 out in the Atlantic. So the headline was Florence heading towards the U.S. Category 4, or Category 4 Florence heading towards the U.S. But they didn't really share the fact that all the models were showing a weakening as it approached, or the stalling, which ended up being the bigger storyline with Florence, was all the rain, the floods in New Bern and Carolinas. So that was, this one does not show hardly any models stalling, no models above, no models showing Cat 3 major hurricane. So it's not, it's just a little, it is what it is. So I can't say that because it's going to affect somebody. But, locals are used to it. And it's just more of a Debbie Downer if you got plans on Sunday. Saturday could be okay. Saturday, this thing could be, it's going to be windy. But Sunday is definitely, Saturday night into Sunday and later, if the storm slows down at all, then the weekend's a little better. So, anyway. Who do you think will have... Hey, Joey, well, for sure, most of the upper Gulf will have watches and warnings. We're still getting close to that time frame, I guess. 36 hours out, maybe. What is it? But they'll have watches up soon. Oh, here we go. I always forget. I always forget the time frame. So it's watches go up 48 hours ahead of time. 2 days. So 1 a.m. Friday would be 2 days out. So technically, maybe by tomorrow morning, we'll have potential watches up tomorrow morning. Sunday, 2 p.m. No. Sunday, 2 p.m. So no, watches wouldn't be out until maybe Saturday morning. Tomorrow night or Saturday morning. And if it slows down a little bit, then we could be looking at more of a Monday landfall. It has slowed down a little bit. Hey, what's up, Patrick? Yeah, there's a lot of chitter chatter about Africa spitting off some waves, but none of them are showing up long range. It's just, there is a little wave out here. You can see it. Look at that. It's very early in the season for these little guys. I'm watching them for sure. Surface chart. We're already got another tropical wave here entering Lesser Antilles. So there's that. I have an African map on the site that we can look at. So, things are getting juicy. July is usually the earliest we've ever seen a system kind of come off of Africa. So it's a little early for that. We can look at long range modeling for fun. There was more CAG energy showing up from the GFS long range. Here's that wave, by the way. It's pretty cool. You can see it. Here's a little wave. Kind of makes its way. Look at that. That's interesting. There's our wave. Doesn't do anything. Stays south. So here's the wave right now. It's really neat. So there's our wave somewhere down here. That's that little wave I just showed. So anyway, it comes across through the week right here. Not showing any development on that one yet. And then long range, nothing. And you can hear Sarah singing. Patrick, yeah, this is a little early for the African waves. This is interesting. Kinda. Euro just showing low pressure. That's more of the tropical wave. So look at that. It could be a little juicy down in Jamaica, and this is later in the week. So Wednesday, Thursday this week, we could be looking at increased tropical juice down there in the Caribbean. Really no development, but still interesting. It's on the CMC too. That's just leftover energy. Sometimes we can get tails of these fronts spin up something. So I'm glad I watched with you. Who was asking? I forget to look at long range stuff when we get all wrapped up in what's going on currently. So a little something. Could be the next spot to watch. Could be. Doubt it. But you never know. Let me see if any ensembles are picking it up. I don't know. Here we'll go to Caribbean. Yeah, there's a couple. But nothing yet. Nothing to report on. This is what I usually do. I start to get a gut feeling of where we're watching, and then I won't show it until we're confident. So, not confident yet. Hey, I remember that hurricane down in the Bahamas. Who was that? I can't go up on this thing. Yeah, Sarah was singing. Did you say hi yet, Sarah? Come here.
What?
She hasn't said hi yet. Let her say hi, and then I got her to go. Oh my God, it's almost 11 o'clock. I can ramble on all day. That's for sure. All right, so Sloppy Cristobal. Come here, say hi real quick. Let me look at the GFS ensemble real quick, see what we got. Anything long range here? Well, I can go zoo Southwest Atlantic here. Nah, nothing. So, all right, she didn't go. All right, anything else cool? Hey, what's up? Destin Dome. Destin, what's up, Monica? Yeah, she didn't come over here. She went back. She's ignoring you. Hey, Molly, thanks. All right, any last questions I'll look at? I'll just I'll look here, and we'll look at Katie's kitty cat cake. Hey, Erin, she says hi. Cool, Charlie. Yep, Cindy, I remember that. Oh my goodness, Charlie was the beginning of it all for me. 2004. We had Francis and Jean. I got a cool little map here. I don't want to take it because I got so much crap behind it. It might fall apart. Ivan. Bye, Jenna. Hey, Sarah. What's up? Santa Rosa. You can say Louie, though. Let's see if Louie comes over here. Come here, Louie. Come here. Come here, Dave's got to work. Come here. Come here. Let's check out radar real quick. Because I saw golf was starting to brew them. Let's see what we got. We got anything out? Oh my goodness, that's what I hear. I hear thunder. Look at that. Clearwater getting hammered right now. Rain training. It's coming. Look at that. Key West is raining. Look at all this rain. The next 2 days. Today for sure. Brunswick, Savannah. There it is there. That's a big old... I guess I need to put that radar on the site. I need to update the website. Put some radar on there. Right. What's up, Earthlings? See you, Aaron. Yeah, I need to update the site. I'll update the app, too. We'll put a radar link on the app for Florida. I'll put Florida radar. And then I'll put... so what I'll do here... So I'll update the site with Florida radar, and then I'll also put... Louisiana radar, because that's probably where we're looking at. So I don't know what's higher resolution radar. We go long range. Yeah, that might be good. I don't know. Yeah, we'll leave that one up. So I'll put that on the site, because that's more than likely where we're talking the next couple days. Lots of rain coming. Yep. Hey, Jennifer, thanks for the stars. Betty, lightning map. We come in peace. Brandon, yep. Excuse me. Starting to wake up, finally, goodness. Here's your lightning map. A few little specks here and there. Not a lot of lightning with these storms coming in off of the Gulf. It's too cool right now. Things are cooled off. So not a lot of energy in those. Let's see what else. SpaceX, yes, Brandon, I didn't get to see it. I logged on right before it went live and shared it. So luckily that got off fine. You're welcome, Lisa. Bama tonight. Breaking news, Jason. Yep, downgraded. There you go. That was expected. Definitely was expected. Tropical depression, 35, east-southeast. So got a little more east-southeast component. Look at that. Still predicted, though, to be a storm. There's our little northwest wiggle. Timing, still Sunday night. They haven't changed that. So this is a new track. 10 a.m. track just came out. 7 a.m. Sunday. So the timing is still the same. Saturday night impacts will start happening. Arrival of winds. There you go. Saturday, 8 p.m. This has been updated. So again, Saturday night impacts. Sunday still the worst day. Let's look at discussion. Winds still predicted to be 60 close to landfall. So they're not calling for anything higher than a higher end tropical storm. Let's see. Assuming the center will emerge. So, intensity guidance are not very bullish on strengthening. Official forecasts a little above model intensity, but it also says we should note that there is uncertainty as to strength when it reaches. So they're just kind of letting blobs and squalls, don't know what could happen. So we're just watching. I'm reading it. Worst conditions could appear a large distance from the center. Cristobal is forecast to reemerge over the southern Gulf of Mexico on Friday and move northward over the central and northern Gulf over the weekend. The risk of tropical storm force winds this weekend from Louisiana to the western Florida panhandle, and a risk for a dangerous storm surge from Louisiana to the Florida Big Bend. These hazards, along with rainfall, will arrive well in advance and extend well east of Cristobal's center. Tropical storm watches could be issued tonight or Friday. So there's your question. All right, now I have a lot of work to do. I gotta share Instagram, Twitter. Assuming, Bobby, yeah, I love their wording. I take pride in words, and they do too. Assuming. They're starting to give you that doubt. And then this one, uncertainty as the strength. Could be weaker, could be stronger. So there you go. All right. Been a long day. A lot of chit chat, right? All right, so hey, listen, thanks. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you real quick Bobby's site here, Hurricane Harbor. It's up top of my site, Hurricane Harbor. She's a big fan of us, and we're a fan of her. And she has a daily blog. She already did one today, Thursday, June the 4th. And she puts together everybody's thoughts, including her own. Every day she posts, and then she has a song. We had the cat yesterday. So we need a Luke Combs song. And I was doing my video of Rusty last night, and the Luke Combs song, Grandpa's Never Died, was playing, and it said, I wish old dogs never turn old and gray, or something like that. I was like, oh man. Pray for me to stop copy and pasting, please. What was that for? Hey, Scotty. Yep. Well, hopefully it's going to weaken, and it's nothing more than a fast-moving tropical storm. But, you just got to be concerned about the rotation of the winds and who gets the big surge, depending on landfall. Good site. There's a good link there, Stephanie. Oh, I can click on links now when I look at it on my producer. So yeah, I do have that map on the site too, by the way. So I have it down here. Storm surge map. I'm gonna add the storm surge map, but right here, storm surge map. But it's kind of hard to see because I got 84,000 links on my site. All right, be good. That's cool. I got a lot of work to do. I won't go live tonight unless nothing's scheduled. If anything changes, but I don't expect we're going to see much in the next 12 hours as far as, because it's going to have to start turning north soon or it's going to die completely. But official forecast is still a high-end tropical storm for upper Gulf, and things go downhill Saturday night. So there you go. Sounds good, right? Cindy, same thing happened. Where was it? The beach is open somewhere, and we had Arthur come, the Outer Banks. And now that the Keys just opened, and now we have Cristobal. Only in 2020. Katie, Destin could be a little wet. We looked at some long-range radars, and this front could linger the front that's actually going to pick up Cristobal could actually drape down and cause a little increased rain throughout the week. So no rain out, just increased rain chances. Hey, thanks, Corey. It's on the Facebook site. There's a link right below the header that says it. So, all right, I'm going to go, guys. I could talk all day. So thanks for being there. Thanks for being fans. Thanks to ABC. Thanks to Sparks. Thanks to all the little sponsors on the side. Thanks to coffee. I got a coffee sponsor, by the way. I got a lady sending me some coffee. I told her I'd drink it. So, here we go. I'm starting to read your questions. St. Augustine plans this weekend through Tuesday. Yeah, definite Sunshine Tuesday. Monday, not bad. Monday's not bad. Mondays are going to be spotty rains. Tuesday looks great. Yep, Betty. Had to do it. So anyway, all right, I got to go. We'll see y'all. Thanks again. Bye-bye.